Stunning revelations tonight from the Vatican. For the first time, the Holy See has revealed how many priests have been defrocked recently because of child sexual abuse. In just 2 years, 2011 and 2012, almost 400 priests were turfed from the church. That's when Pope Benedict was still in charge. He was quietly kicking out one priest every 2 days during his final years. But secrecy about sex abuse prevailed, as Mike Armstrong reports.
Yeah, probably here, right?
The news hundreds of priests were defrocked comes out of Switzerland. The document was prepared by the Vatican for officials testifying in front of a United Nations panel.
Welcome to this meeting.
The UN Convention on the Rights of the Child is looking at sexual abuse, and the Vatican has taken a grilling at times.
What have you done? What have the local churches done? What has happened in the States? And how many victims? And have they got compensation?
Now, Vatican officials did not give many specifics this week. The only figure released publicly was the number of sexual abuse cases around the world, the Vatican pegging it at more than 4,000. Officials admit there is a problem, and in their words, they now get it.
Let's say the Holy See gets it. Let's not say too late or not. The Holy See gets it.
Silencing of victims.
One of the big criticisms has been transparency. Victims' rights groups say abuse was covered up to protect the reputation of the church. Well, it appears how the church was responding was covered up. No one knew how many priests were defrocked until now.
The document shows that in 2 years alone, the Pope actually defrocked 400 priests, and the Vatican sent another 400 cases to either be tried by a church tribunal or to be dealt with administratively.
Such crimes can never be justified.
Vatican officials told the panel they do not encourage cover-ups, but they argue much of the responsibility for prosecuting offenders, even priests, belongs to local police. Critics say the Vatican's obligations under the Convention on the Rights of the Child are worldwide.
The reason they don't want to do it is because a lot of priests would end up in prison and they'd end up paying even more compensation.
The UN committee will hand down a report February 5th. Its recommendations are not binding. Its biggest weapon, say observers, is shaming. Mike Armstrong, Global News, Montreal.